joy at Ralph Ellis Stadium. It is the ICTN Game of the Week. The crosstown rivalry continues. The Nimitz Vikings taking on the Irving Tigers. Hi, everybody. Rob Willman with you, along with John Nelson. And it's a big game for the Nimitz Vikings as they hit the field first. They are the visitors tonight. They're going for win number 4 in a row. It would be their 3rd win in a row in district play. A lot of the offense resting squarely on the big shoulders of Eric Williams, their big running back. But there's also someone on the other side of the field that has something to say about it, and it's that group right there, the Irving Tigers. The Tigers off a 12-9 win over Richardson just last week has put this team on the field tonight with optimism that they can play very well tonight and be very competitive against their arch rivals from right down the street, the Nimitz Vikings. The Vikings have done extremely well this year. They feel really good about this team, and they feel really good that they're going to make the postseason playoffs. It's just a matter, are they going to be seed number 3 or 4, or can they have an upset and be seed 2? Well, we're going to find out what happens tonight with the call. Here's John Nelson.
All right, Rob, Andy Molina has it teed up. This one through the end zone as it sails over the head of Kyle Sampson, and the Irving Tigers set up shop at their own 25. Irving comes in averaging 17 points a game. The Nimitz defense allowing 17. Adrian Badina is a man under for the Irving Tigers, averaging about 187 yards of rushing a contest. Overall, a 2-3 record, 1-1 in the district. They are the home team tonight. In the backfield, Malik Wilkins as they line up behind Adrian Medina. Medina completing 40% of his passes this year. He's a junior, 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He'll turn, hand it off, up the middle, and collected at the 29-yard line after a gain of 5. And the Irving Tigers are on the march.
Looks like a new face running back, Bowie, the sophomore, number 30, taking the initial handoff for 5 yards. And we expect, John, to see a lot of running in this ball game. We know that the Vikings like to run the football. That's their bread and butter. And pretty much Irving, they have to establish themselves on the ground first before they can do anything on the air.
Cameron Bowie, number 30, he's a sophomore, one of 11. They have called up a number of sophomores this week. From the 29, Medina rolls out, has it cocked, throws, and batted away, intended for the receiver on the far side at about the 45-yard line.
John, was it batted away or did it hit the helmet?
Well, I couldn't tell off the shoulder pad. Hills was in the area, number 24, that is he.
It looked like it hit the headgear of one of the corners of the safeties coming up to make a play on the pass.
It'll bring up 3rd down 5. 2 receivers split wide right. And likewise on the other side. Medina from the spread. They need 5. Swings it out to the left side. Caught. 1st down and more, crossing the 40 and ushered out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Our starters as David Perez on the reception, Rob.
We've got Rodriguez, Smith, Lazo, Portillo, and Daniel. They're the guys up front. Medina, of course, your quarterback. Daniel, the running back. Vine also will come in and play running back. Escamilla, Sampson, and Sanchez at the wide receiver spot.
1st and 10 from the 42. Option keeper, Medina, crosses midfield, has about 13 yards on the run out to the right. Picked up a couple of blocks on the edge, and Medina sprints for the Irving Tiger 1st down.
Defensively, for Nimitz, you've got, there's the offensive line. We'll get to the defensive starters here momentarily for the Nimitz Vikings, but I'm going to talk about Tavoris Walter a little bit, number 4. He kind of made a bad angle at the tackle that time when he came in there from the secondary and allowed Medina to get the edge.
Kyle Sampson, number 9, wide left on 1st and 10. Here's the toss to the sophomore Wilkins. Wilkins, 40, and banged hard out of bounds, lost the football, but fumbled out of bounds, really drilled by Griffin, the defensive back for the Nimitz Vikings.
First time we've seen Bowie run the football this year. We saw him earlier. He got the 5-yard carry right off the bat and then tried to go to the corner. But a small-statured individual, the sophomore is, and he got popped pretty good on that corner.
Having to make a few adjustments this week for the game against Nimitz. Malik Wilkins, one of the two setbacks, number 31. Rashawn Daniel, the other. On second down, needing about 8. Handoff and twisted down at the 39, about 1.5 yards. That's number 31, Malik Wilkins, a sophomore. David Perez comes back in as a wideout, joined by Chris Sanchez.
Seeing all sorts of fresh faces tonight, John.
Yeah, we are. This is the halfway point of the season. Nimitz overall 3-2. They've won 3 in a row, undefeated in district. They scrimmage from the 40, third down needing 7. Medina again from the spread. Drops back, good protection, throws, caught in traffic, 30, 25. Looking for running room to the 15, to the end zone. Dragged down, just shy, and a flag drop as the defender reaching inside, and we may have a horse collar.
Absolutely. That was a nice pass by Medina. Man, he just waited for his receiver just to set into the zone right there, and Sampson almost turns it into gold.
Headed for the end zone was Sampson, pulled down. It'll be first and goal. 2 minutes and 17 seconds into this game.
On the defense, number 4, will be half the distance added to the end of the run. First down, Irving.
Our referee tonight and the indication, they spotted at the 1. It is first and goal.
The Tigers are impressive here in the first series.
Started from their own 25. Daniel in the backfield, number 43. A look from above to Medina, the quarterback. And he'll give it to number 31. Slices over the left side. Wilkins denied the double stripe. In the mix was Duncan, number 45.
He might even have lost a yard in the process. Duncan with a lot of playing time this year. The defensive lineman, senior, one of those 3 that really in the middle clogged things up. And this is what the Tigers need to do, John, is play ball control against the Vikings. They're doing it right now in the first quarter.
Lost a half a yard, second and goal. Daniel set up to the right. Lost it, Medina. They fall upon it at the 5. That's a 3-yard loss. Tigers lucky to maintain possession almost out of the hands of Medina.
Very fortunate on that snap. If you're Irving, I think you're in 2-down territory. You don't want to get a field goal. I think you want to make a statement here in the first series and try to punch this in.
They're going to insert in the offensive line Rafael Felipe, number 61. They got a receiver wide right. That's Kelvin Escamilla. They got 5 seconds to get this play off. Third and goal from the 5. Play clock down to 1. They get it all, or do they?
No.
Call time. Head coach David Munoz and the staff indicating that they may have had a penalty had not a timeout been forced. It'll be third and goal just underway. The Irving Tigers coming off a win last week over Richardson, 12-9. Also last week, Nimitz continues that roll, a whitewashed MAC, 31-14 last Friday night.
We've already had a couple of games played in this district. Tonight's a Friday. On Thursday, it was Berkner over Richardson, 47-28, and Lake Highlands defeated Pierce 31-0. If we could look at the standings very quickly, Jesuit with their big win over Lake Highlands last week, 2-0 in district. Nimitz right there at 2-0 as well. Then you got a couple at 2-1, Lake Highlands and Berkner. The Tigers at 1-1, and then 3 teams at 0-2, Mac, Richardson, and Pierce. Actually, Richardson and Pierce now 0-3 after Thursday night's games.
All right, third and goal from the 5. The lone setback, Rashawn Daniel, number 43. 2 receivers, wide right, one to the short side.
I'd run it. I'd take Medina and roll him out.
Got a strong side right. Got an extra offensive lineman. Medina rolls out, looking, tripped up, and goes down at the 17.
Jaden Hall, number 11, called his name out quite frequently last week in that win over Mack. It seemed at one time Hall was in practically every play as the linebacker, and he's really done well on the defensive side this year, and now they have to kick a field goal this far back.
Roger Bersian, a senior. This will be a 33-yard field goal attempt, angled to the left, out of the hold of Christian Cruz. It is up, it is high enough, but wide right. So the drive stalls. It started at the 25, and the Nimitz Vikings take over with 7:50 left in the opening period.
Well, John, that's got to be a little heartbreaking, I think, for the Tigers. They were able to move the football quite well, and just think how big of a play that was to stop Sampson inside the 5. Even though he grabbed the horse collar, if you will, and they got penalized for it, it ended up saving them points.
From the 20, 1st and 10, Nimitz, averaging 31 points a game. Turn, handoff over the left side. He's got 4, he's got 5. The pile continues close to the 30. And a 9-yard pickup as a surge ahead for Eric Williams. And Rob, a steady diet tonight of Eric Williams would not be a bad offensive play.
Why not? That rush right there puts him over 600 yards for the season. We'll take a look at the starters right after this play. Offensively for the Vikes.
Second and short. Now 1st and 10, running room for the quarterback. Crosses midfield, takes it all the way down to the 48-yard line. Pedro Maldonado.
Over 20 yards on that play. Their first down is Campbell, Garcia, James, big center James, Flores, Bayakala, the right tackle, and then Maldonado and Williams. You know about them. Reyes, Sanchez, King, and Gibson. Gibson's a popular target as well.
Handoff, 40, 35, into the secondary, inside the 20, inside the 15, and Gibson headbutted out of bounds. Another huge gain. A lot of real estate for the Nimitz Vikings. That's Isaiah Gibson.
We haven't seen Gibson a lot run the football, John, but he's very capable of doing so, and when you key in on number 2, why not give it to number 1?
Gibson injured much of last year. He's a senior. Ball spotted at the 12. $67 yards already on this drive. Maldonado will keep it, turns it back against the grain, and is slammed down at about the 10.
It didn't look like much, but he actually got about 5 yards on the play before the hole collapsed and took a pretty good beating by the defensive unit for these Tigers. Cantarillo, Neva, Gaddis are the guys, the 3 up front. Then you got Anea, Sanders, Williams, and Harris are your linebackers. Quintanilla, Williams, and the other Williams, and then Diaz in the secondary.
Back to play, quick running room over the left guard, and close to a 1st down, spotted at about the 3.5-yard line.
Well, we've only seen Williams a couple of times.
3rd and about a half a yard. Maldonado will find the end zone. Pedro Maldonado, rushing touchdown number 4 for the sophomore. And the Vikings strike first.
We might see more of that. I mean, at this point, like you said, the halfway point of the season, people are well aware what Eric Williams can do. And it's going to be other players that might have to step up to the plate. And we saw it on that first series and the touchdown drive.
Andy Molina on the PAT.
Got a whistle.
Yeah, a little stoppage right as it was placed down for Molina. So they'll scoot back. Initial indication against Nimitz here. So now the extra point will be about 27 yards. Now spotted squarely on the 15 for Molina. Not much of an angle at all. Takes a couple of steps to the left. Maldonado has it spotted. It is up. And Molina drives it through, and the Nimitz Vikings, with 5:38 left to go in the opening period, lead it 7-0 on a Maldonado 3-yard run. A 80-yard drive.
Maldonado had one run of about 22. Picked up about another 5. You see him right there. Pedro, the sophomore, and maybe carrying the luggage just a little bit more this year. He came in with about a 7-yard a carry average. And on that particular series, it was a couple of Williams plays, but then Gibson had a huge run of 37 yards. And then Maldonado kept him honest with a couple of keepers, but one which went to the end zone. Take a look at the replay on how it unfolded on the quarterback keep. He just gives to Williams a look. 3 Tigers in dark jerseys go for the handoff, and he just walks into the end zone.
It's that other guy that has it.
Yeah.
You know, the
quarterback kept it.
The game we did, Rob, against Richardson, the Vikings, they had drives of 78, 82, and 88. And that one over Richardson, this one goes down as an 80-yard drive. As Molina, it is scooped up at the 3-yard line. Crossing the 20, into the pile, and stacked up at about the 22-yard line.
Thing about that offense for the Vikings, they only used up about 2 minutes and 12 seconds. They have opted to forget about the huddle this year. They do everything that's right there at the line of scrimmage. It keeps other teams from substituting, number one, and number two, you can alternate your pace. They're there. You can make it a quick call or a long call, whatever you feel like the tempo dictates at the time.
Ball spotted at the 21. There's a Cameron Bowie. And Daniel in the backfield. Medina, the quarterback. And over the right side, able to squeeze out about 1.5 yards. Will bring up second down and long.
That was Daniel with a couple of yards. I feel like the Vikings have made some adjustments defensively where they've pretty much brought the linebackers up a little closer to the line of scrimmage and more or less just daring Medina to throw the football.
They really like to play this year. Their linebacker, Damian Salas, the senior. Salas, number 24. Second down and a long 9. Medina in trouble. Rolls out, is blasted as he gets the pass off. Really leveled and slow to get up.
That was Eric Williams, wasn't it, over there? Yeah, number
was.
2. He started the season as a starting linebacker, and I think coach is just bringing him in on occasion. But he and Jaden Hall were both the starting linebackers to start the season, and then Williams started carrying the football so much they had to rest him on the defensive series. But he showed exactly what type of talent he is and busted right through the line to force the play. Perkins, number 27, Raymond Perkins, he fills in for Williams when Williams is on the bench.
Ruled an incompleted pass, running for his life as Medina didn't get back to the line of scrimmage as he lets it go from the goal line. Really harassed and under duress.
Well, he got outside the pocket, but you said he didn't get past the line of scrimmage.
So Medina, there's a flag. We see it on the near side.
There's Washington there who applied the pressure. Watch the replay and watch the pressure by these Viking defenders who have really not given much of a chance for Medina to throw the football. After those first, 3 or 4 plays on that initial series, all of a sudden the Vikings have controlled the line of scrimmage.
Grounding is the call.
It's a loss of down.
Needed to get the ball to the 21. Let it fly at about got it to the 15, so they mark off the yardage. It'll be placed near the 12, and punt time for the Tigers.
First penalty of the night against Irving.
In punt formation is Bersian. Roger Bersian, a senior. Oh, man, this one is a shank job off the foot as it goes out of bounds. Will mark off the angle. Rob, I wouldn't be surprised if it's inside the 15.
If they get back to the 20, I think they're going to mark it right at the 20, John.
So, needless to say, a short field facing the Nimitz Vikings, leading 7-0. They take over at the Nimitz 20. They set up shop in the red zone following the punt. Well, there's a break for the Vikings.
That's not what you want.
Man, that's
to give your defense when you're already down 7-0 and you got big number 2 back there, but they're going to throw a crossing pattern.
Crossing pattern caught, and the touchdown crossing the double stripe. Number 19 on the reception, Jeremy Reyes, his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. Now that doesn't take long after the short punt.
6 seconds. 6 seconds, 1 play, 20 yards. Maldonado to Reyes. Make it look easy.
And Maldonado will stay in. He's a holder for Andy Molina. Spotted up, and like the previous extra point, it is perfect. And the Nimitz Vikings open up a 14-0 lead at the 4:24 mark.
Oh, this could get ugly pretty quick if the Tigers aren't able to do something offensively and move the football like they did to start the ball game. Let's look at that touchdown again. Maldonado to Reyes. Didn't even fake it to the running back. Just had plenty of time in the backfield. And look for Reyes, who did a little crossing pattern just to his left. One-on-one coverage. They couldn't make the tackle. The safety comes in, Austin Williams, to try to knock it loose, but is a little too late. And from another angle up top, the tight shot. There's a broken tackle at the 10. The effort there to knock it out of his hands to no avail. And Reyes gets the 2nd touchdown of the night.
The quick slant
Vikings.
to number 19, the senior. 31 seniors on the staff this year for head coach Brian Rogers. 12 juniors, 3 sophomores. This will be our last look at Nimitz this year. So Molina will kick off. Drives it deep and through the end zone. And the Tigers will set it up at the 25, their 3rd possession.
Reyes had just 1 catch last week, not a touchdown against the Cardinals. That Nimitz pretty much handed MacArthur the loss 31-14. It was the Eric Williams show last week with a couple of touchdowns and close to 200 yards rushing. You know, Williams, after all the games we've seen, we're like, man, he's got to rank pretty high in the Metroplex and rushing. Well, he came in at number 20, 20th highest rushing stats in the Metroplex.
Over 600, right?
He does now. He came in at 599.
From the 29. Handoff straight ahead. Nothing at all. You know, this Nimitz team, Rob, their combined losses, 2 points. I mean, they could easily be 5-0.
Oh, absolutely. They lost to Princeton by a point and Wiley East by a point to start the season.
It's a Cameron Bowie. One of the 2 setbacks with Rashawn Daniel. 2nd and 10. Here's the toss. Coming right. And maybe 3. Bowie slides to the 28.
Hayden Williams, number 12, coming up to make the tackle there. 1 point about Williams and his 600 yards coming in. The leading top 2 rushers have over 1,100 yards in the Metroplex. You got Jalen Burton over at Denton Broswell at 1169, 13 touchdowns, and Noel Whitehead over at Lake Highlands, 1,138 yards and also 13 touchdowns coming into tonight's ball game.
Lake Highlands, a preseason favorite to win the district this year. Jesuit picked to finish number 2. From the 28, look out as Medina able to track it down. It continued to bounce deep in their own territory near the 15-yard line. More lost yardage and another punt facing the Irving Tigers.
Salas, they're rushing in, put him down. Oh, Salas, he's played some great games. We saw him with the pick 6 2 weeks ago, and then last week, John, almost an identical type play. He didn't get the interception, but man, he lowered the boom on the offensive player. Really a major hit last week.
So Roger Bassian will punt from inside the 5. The 14 dropping back for the Vikings. That's Jalen King. This one continues to roll beyond midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Number 35 getting downfield quick. That's Chris Alvarez. And the Vikings will have it for the 3rd time in the opening stanza, leading 14-0.
I thought that ball went to midfield. They're going to say it was touched at the 48-yard line of Irving.
Somebody apparently touched it as it continued across midfield, so it was touched. And from the 48, that's where the Vikings scrimmage. From the spread, looking left, he unloads. It is broken up at the 30-yard line. Maldonado trying to steer it in the direction of Jalen King, number 14.
Jalen got tangled up a little bit there on the corner with Austin Williams. Austin back as a linebacker made a few plays trying to help out the corner. Back there was Ibarra, number 18. It's Ibarra that's, no, it was the linebacker Williams out there on defense.
The keeper into the secondary, 30, 25, inside the 25, and a first down run for Maldonado.
He's up to 52 yards already, John.
Boy, he got to the edge very, very quickly. Hard to bring down. Sophomore.
Here's a guy that came in averaging 7 yards a carry.
But it's
that was going to be wiped out.
Yeah. They've had an inadvertent push in the back or a block as Maldonado was running. Spot foul from the 35. That'll place it at the 43.
Last week against MacArthur, Irving bread and butter play was a trap.
From the 43, running play over the left side, Williams near the 35.
Tigers have done a really good job of keeping Williams bottled up. You got to know coming in that was their major objective, is to keep the leading rusher, second leading rusher in district at bay.
From the 36, a fresh set of downs. Maldonado, he'll give it to Williams again. Williams hit hard, very hard at the 33. Jarring tackle as Williams came up to apply the hit. Emmanuel Williams.
Williams on Williams.
They spot it at the 33. It'll be second down and needing about 7. 3rd and 7 from the Irving Tiger 33. Williams over the right side. He has the first down, stumbles, maintains his balance, breaks another tackle, and goes down near the 15.
It's fun to watch him run, isn't it?
Got a good body lean, hard to bring down.
He's always churning. He's always just has the legs going, and that's what makes him so special from the ground level. He gets right through that initial burst there, breaks one tackle from the safety. They try to tackle him around the ankles because you know it's hard to bring him down up high. And a nice job of rushing.
They spot it at the 13. Maldonado has a receiver caught and dropped inside the 5. That was Gibson. Minute 11 left in the opening quarter. 14-0 Nimitz. They won last year's game 31-13 over the Tigers.
Gibson, one of his favorite targets coming into the night's ball game. He gave one of those, hey, I'm sorry, that was my fault. I missed that one.
2nd and a dime from the 13. Full house backfield. Untouched, number 11, Jaden Hall, with his 5th touchdown of the year.
Jaden Hall, the unsung hero defensively, did a lot of damage offensively those first 3 weeks before district started. And then he's been pretty much just relegated to a linebacker defensively. But man, does he offer a great 1-2 punch when both him and Williams are in the backfield. Who do you key on? Because Jalen is almost as big as Williams size-wise.
So Molina will try to make it 21-0. Almost blocked from the edge, but it finds its way inside the left upright as he dots the I. The touchdown coming about 3 minutes from the previous score. And the Vikings have upped the ante now to 21-0.
Well, we had a roughing the kicker call, I believe, as tonight's referee threw the flag after the kick was good, so the Vikings can tack that on and kick almost from midfield.
Short 48-yard drive.
Offside on the defense.
We got 2 penalties, both against
Second foul
Irving. One's offside,
is roughing the kicker,
and the other one's a
on
roughing
the
the kicker
defense.
penalty. So refuse the offsides, take the
Those
rough,
fouls will
and
cancel out each other.
you kick off from
Replay.
nearly midfield.
They came close to blocking the extra point from the edge,
Look
but
at that.
here's the touchdown.
Two huge running backs. You fake it to Williams. You give it to Hall, and I don't think anyone touched him. Ground level again. Maldonado just looks like the old veer they used to run. He just take a read on whether to keep it or hand it off, and he gives it to Mr. Hall, and the double ace there scores the touchdown.
Running behind Terrence Campbell, number 52. Offensive tackle for the Vikes. And a 21-0 first quarter. Team that won 3 games last year. How you win tonight, it would be their 4th, would surpass last year's win total, but more importantly, would keep them undefeated in district. They kind of see this as a playoff positioning game, kind of a statement game for the Vikings. Sure, you want to just take it one game at a time. They're focusing on just this contest tonight, but it's easy to look ahead, Rob. You go 3-0 after tonight, possibly, and, you know, you're sitting pretty good.
They've got back-to-back games against the 2 that's above them right now, Jesuit and Lake Highlands, so that's going to tell a big story. But then after that, I think they can cruise to a couple of wins to finish out the season. Coach Vizentine last week, he called it. He said, hey, I think Jesuit might beat Lake Highlands, and they did. That was a shocker to me. I thought Lake Highlands would take care of business. But
high-scoring game.
Yeah.
All right, a short kickoff, the 15-yard penalty. So Molina will kick off from the Tiger 45. Some like a short, kind of a compressed directional kick. Some like to drive it through and know that you're going to start at the 25. But
hey, if there was ever a time to pooch kick, I think now's the time to do it.
All right, let's see what he does. It is short. It is a directional kick and fielded inside the 5. Crossing the 10 and will go down at the 13-yard line. Nice downfield coverage on the short kickoff.
Yeah, Jalen King, number 14. He plays in the secondary as one of the corners. Use that speed and put him on a special team to get down there before anybody else can, and did a great tackle around the ankles.
4th possession for the Tigers here in the opening quarter. They will start from the 14. A missed field goal, a couple of punts. Their 3 previous possessions. And in a jam here, Medina and the Tigers from the 14. Running play straight ahead. Close to the 19-yard line. Pickup of about 5. That's number 43, Daniel.
He's a tough runner. Real tough runner. He was wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Keyshawn Walpole, who plays on the defensive line, number 44. Wrapped him up, but Daniel just kept driving the legs for 5 yards.
2nd and 5. And Inside of 20 seconds. Rolling out, throwing on the run, caught at the 23-yard line, went up high to get it. That's Escamilla. That may be the last play of the opening quarter, and it will be. So they'll flip the field, and after the end of the first quarter on our ICTN Game of the Week, our score, the Nimitz Vikings 21, the Irving Tigers nothing. And we are back at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, our ICTN Game of the Week. The Irving Tigers have possession of it. It's a 1st and 10 at their own 24, trailing 21-0.
John, the Vikings rolled up 182 total yards just in the first quarter.
Well, that pretty much tells you what the game plan may be for the rest of the night. And a quick 4 over the right side. Behind number 55 on the offensive line, that's number 31, Malik Wilkins, a sophomore. 2nd and about 6.
Quick hitters have worked, and when you get the quarterback rolling outside the pocket, gets him a little extra time, he's been able to connect. Medina has as well that way.
Here's Medina. He will give it right up the middle to Daniel. Daniel rides it out for about 2.5, close to 3. 3rd and short. His drive starting from the 13. Keyshawn Walpool, the junior, right there. From the 32, needing about 2 yards. Unbalanced line, Manita trying to draw him off sides with a quick count. Here's the first down run by Daniel. And Daniel close to the 38. He has 3 rushing touchdowns this year. Number 43, a junior.
He's a tough runner. He's their answer to Eric Williams. He's a guy that can run between the tackles, has some brute force, keeps the legs moving as well. And he's the guy, if you want the extra tough yards, he's the guy to give it to. Tigers need a long drive right here.
From the 38, 3 receivers wide right, 1 to the near side. They go to the short side. It is caught, hauled in by Sampson. And Sampson close to 8 yards on the catch and run. Kyle Sampson, a junior. Nice pickup of 8, 2nd and needing 2.
Medina 4 out of 6 to start this ball game. Nothing too deep. Just try to find the seam.
Came in with a completion rate of near 40%. Kyle Sampson, number 9, the lone receiver to the right. It'll be a running play, first down run, crossing midfield and a late flag as Bowie goes down at the Irving Tiger 47.
That's a face mask, John. One of the guys in an interior line, linebacker, is kind of like that second level defensively. It appears that we got a face mask.
Face mask on the defense, 24. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, first down.
You are correct. From the end of the run, it's a 15-yard march off.
See if we can pick it up in the interior. Right there. It looks like they got him with the hand. Cham, number 42, the senior, plays on the D-line.
All right, placed at the 31. Tigers trying to get back in this game. Strong side right. Medina rolls, throws. It's a low ball, but caught on a knee at the 26. That's Sanchez, Giovanni Sanchez.
I don't know if it's because of necessity, being down by 3 touchdowns, or it's part of the game plan, but I feel the Tigers have thrown the football a lot more than I thought they would.
They've been effective on the short passes. Got an inside receiver, Brewster. From the 26 of Nimitz, trailing 21-0. Rolls, throws, and over the outstretched hands of Brewster at the 21.
Little pressure that time. Defensive coordinator dialed up a blitz. Brought Salas, number 24, from the near side. Also a little pressure by Hayden Williams, who was also back in coverage. But that one just got away from Medina.
So good defense this year for the Vikings, just giving up 17 points a game. From the 26, third down needing 5. Here's Medina, quick out pass, it is low. That's Perez, unable to make the scooping catch.
Yeah, you know, in 7-6A, there's only 2 teams with a point differential that's positive. Lake Highlands with 221, and second is these Nimitz Vikings with 72.
4th and 5, trailing 21-0. You got to go for it. From the 26. Play has been called. Medina drops back, is pressured, and will go down at the 32. That pocket collapsed. In the mix was Duncan, number 45.
Duncan's had a good game. Of course, Jaden Hall, number 11. Just look around. Every time you're going to see number 11 in big plays defensively. And Medina was like one step away from getting a first down. But he gets double teamed here, and Gibson, Orpool do the damage, and they turn it over and downs. Hate to see it for the Tigers. That drive started at their own 14-yard line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a pretty good drive going, and it stalls at the 32. That's where the Vikings take over, leading 21-0. Short pass, trying to loop it in the direction of Gibson, and well over his head. Maldonado running to the near side. 2nd and 10. Nimitz opened up the year losing at Princeton 21-20, lost to Wiley East 29-28, but then collected a Thursday night 27-0 win over Richardson. Before that, a win over Creekview by 30. From the 32, 2nd and 10. Here's the fake inside toss and crossing run in the secondary. It races on 40-35, and they will not catch this Nimitz Viking Eric Williams as Williams scoots 68 yards to pay dirt.
That is what Viking fans were looking for in the ball game, and it was just a matter of time before the super senior, who averages around 7 yards a carry, reels off 68 big ones, and pretty much puts a thumper in the heart of the Tigers here in the first half.
I love that fake inside toss. I believe it was King. And then Williams took it, the double handoff. And a 68-yard burn. Extra point is perfect. And the lead has been extended now to 28-0.
And just like that, Williams has his 100-yard game. It's about 118, give or take a yard or two. They did this against MacArthur last week. We saw it quite often. And we'll take a look at the big run. Like you said, they just did a quick fake into Jalen King, 14, and then give it to the Big E. And he's looking over his shoulder left and right, making sure no speedsters tracking him down. From the end zone, one guy touched him, and after that, it was just clear sailing.
Eric Williams into the night, 68 yards.
For Williams, that is his 9th touchdown of the season rushing. I started to say I like that King-Williams combo, but I don't even think King was in there that time. It was more or less, Hall.
Hall.
Yeah, it wasn't Hall, it was King. A lot of weapons this year for Coach Rogers and his staff.
And
you need to enjoy every minute of it, John, because every year doesn't turn out this way.
Yeah, especially after a 3-6 mark last year. Kick is short. Fair catch indicated for at the 26 by the Irving Tigers. The return man underneath it was Hills.
That was a two-play drive. Started at their own 32. Took them all of about, 10, 15 seconds to get that underway. And you got a feel for the Tigers. Just nothing after that initial drive, nothing offensively has seemed to work. One time, you see, even now looks like Vikings have about 5 guys on the line of scrimmage defensively.
So Medina and company take over at their own 26. Daniel crashes over the right side. Ahead for about 3. Rashawn Daniel. About time to get some of these wideouts in the mix, Rob. Sanchez, and we haven't seen Jacob Vine tonight, number 3.
That last particular defensive lineup for the Vikings, they run a 3-4, meaning 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. But right now, both linebackers on the outside are on the line of scrimmage. So you can see they've got 5. Now that there's even another linebacker coming in, Hall.
And they had some movement. Somebody may have started towards the line as the toss went to Bowie.
It's going to go against the Tigers. Did you see who was the first one across the line for the Vikings?
Was it that number again that we've called
the double
out?
ace. Yeah, the double ace, number 11.
Second down 12.
Jaden Hall goes both ways. Yeah, we haven't seen Vine, number 3. Offensive weapon this year, mostly on the ground for the Tigers. But Wilkins now in the backfield with Daniel. Wilkins, number 31. Second and 12. Trying to pull him across the line. Vikings aren't biting. Here's a handoff, and to the 30-yard line goes Wilkins, a sophomore. He's about 7 yards short. Again, the Tigers 2-3 on the year, 1-1 in the district, a team that went 0-9 last year.
The difference in both teams this year is, you can go ahead and say the Vikings have some talent this year that they haven't had in quite some time. But the other thing is Coach Rogers has told me before, he feels like he's got depth. This is the first year he feels like he's got someone to plug the hole and if someone ever goes down or they need a rest.
3rd and a long 6. This is caught near the first down marker. He should have it double teamed at the 37 is Hills, Iden Hills, a junior. And it is enough for a first down for the Tigers. Spotted at the 37, almost halfway through the second quarter.
4th Tiger to touch the football via the pass. Got just where he needed to for the first down. Good job.
Gonna have to put it up a lot more than that. Sampson in tight to the left from the 37. Medina rolls out, looking, throws it up. It's a 50-50 ball and batted away at midfield, intended for Bowie. And slapped away by, was that Griffin?
It was, yeah. Omari Griffin, number 9. That ball floated a little bit on Medina, and it gave Griffin enough time to gain ground and slap it away.
A lot of air underneath that one as they get it back.
Right here at the tail end. It's one of those, I can get the interception or I can knock it down. Well, I'm going to try the interception, and if I drop it, then I knock it down.
2nd and 10 from the 37. Here's the handoff, shaking one, still on his feet, and making the most of it as he gains yardage close to the 45.
That's Johnson, Jeremiah Johnson, the junior. And that is the 5th guy to touch the football in the backfield. Now, in film room, video room, they're going to have a field day. They're going to be all over this play right here. They're going to be pointing at Jordan Amaya saying, Jordan, wrap up. He had him for a loss, and he wiggled free.
3rd and 4 from the 43. Vikings put 6 in the box, and they stuff Daniel. Nothing at all as he runs into the stone wall at the 43. Bring up 4th down, and comes the punt team.
Maybe if it was 4th and 2, Coach Munoz would go for it.
Well, they need close to 5.
Yeah, that's a tall order right now.
Back deep for the Vikings, number 14, Jalen King. That's Roger Bassi in the punt formation.
Remember his last punt.
End over end, King secures it at the 20. And that's where the Vikings will have it with 5:19 left in the first half.
All right, let's recap, shall we?
All right.
Let's see. The first time Nimitz had the ball, they went 80 yards in just 2 minutes. Then the second time they had the football, it was Maldonado to Reyes for a touchdown. The third time they had the football, Jaden Hall scores. The fourth time they had the football, it was a 68-yard run by Eric Williams. 4 possessions, 4 scores.
The Fab Four. From the 21, 1st and 10, going deep. He has a man, and it is a little short, trying to get it to the 40-yard line.
I had something witty. I was going to say something like 4 scores and 2 quarters to go.
two left.
Yes.
Pass intended for Tony. Mike Tony, number 3.
2nd down 10.
So from the 21, they'll do it all over again. 2nd and 10. Or you see the time on the insert, 5:11. A look from downfield on Maldonado. That's how the secondary views it. Running play, 30 out to the 31 and close to a first down is Williams, Eric Williams.
The thing about Eric is that his yards come between the tackles a lot. He takes a pretty good beating in between the tackles by those linebackers.
So he comes out.
He can get to that 3rd level in the secondary, then he definitely has a size advantage over the defender then.
Jaden Hall in, number 11. From the 31, this is Hall looking for an avenue. It closes, and Hall draws a crowd at the 33.
Tried to make the corner work. Went for the edge instead of there at the line of scrimmage, and pursuit just caught up with him. Those work really well in Pee Wee football. And when you're in junior high, you can make the edge, but once you get a little bit higher up in competition, you get into high school, that edge doesn't always work. And then it gets even tougher, of course, in college.
What about flag football?
Flag, can you spin and turn in flag? So you can't
I
get
think
the
all
flags?
rules are off in flag.
Go around like a washing machine in the cycle.
From the 34, 2nd down, needing 7. They swing it out to the left side and to the 38-yard line. That's number 14, Jalen King. Needs about 3 yards here on 3rd down. 3:33 left. In the first half, it is all Vikings, 28-zip.
Jalen's first catch of the night. They've been spreading the wealth as well, but it's been Williams, Maldonado, Gibson, Hall on occasion running the football, and Reyes and King receiving.
3rd and 3 from the 38. Straight ahead, 1st down yardage and more. Into the secondary, 30, 20, and say goodnight. And another Nimitz Viking touchdown, number 11, Jaden Hall.
Who do you try to stop, right?
What's that, 62
yards,
62
perhaps?
yards.
Jaden Hall with his 2nd touchdown of the night. He's like, Eric Williams who?
Well, they can just name their score. I mean, It is now 34-0.
5 possessions,
5.
5 touchdowns. Even in the Mike Farda days, I can't remember that happening.
It's a fake going for 2, and the receiver open at the deep part of the end zone. That was Gibson.
Maldonado, the quarterback, is the holder. Now, was that planned? I don't know why you'd plan it, being up 35-0 at the time.
It was quick, though.
Let's see if we got it on replay. Let's see if it was a bad snap, because Maldonado has done an excellent job tonight on the snaps, on the tries for the extra point. He has had to really work and dig and make some really good plays with the hold to make it count. And that could have been one of those times to where the timing was off and it just didn't work. So we're going to start with the touchdown. It's just like a veer. It's just like a dive. Going off the left side, and then Jaden, once he breaks through, can you imagine a linebacker with that kind of speed?
Yeah.
And then from up top, you see the line doing an excellent job. Those guys have done so well all year, opening up holes for whether it's Maldonado, whether it's Williams, and now Hall. And they've got some speedster there, but you talk about Jaden Hall and you think of what a job he does defensively at linebacker and how he fills the holes and how he makes big plays and rushes the passer. And then you have him run the football.
You know, the 2-point conversion, Rob, it happened so quick. Maldonado picked it up, and you had Gibson, it looked like, trying to get open, and he was. A spinner fielded at the 4. 15, 20, and crossing the 25 and hit hard at the 27 is the return man with under 3 minutes to go in the first half. The Vikings on top big, the shutout at 36-0.
Even if, the Vikings were trying to run the clock down, it's just huge runs offensively by this running attack that has made the difference.
Well, they over 200 yards easily.
Oh, yes. Well, Williams had close to $125, and that was a 60-yard run right there by Hall.
So there's 130 right there. Then, another Hall run of 13, close to 150.
We're going to have all the stats, halftime stats, and the highlights for you at halftime. Both bands, Vikings and the Tigers.
From the 27-yard line. Pass caught at the 39 and a first down. That's Hills on the reception of Medina.
If you would have told me that Medina would throw at least 11 times in the first half.
Well, they better get his arm warmed up here, because
I would say he's not going to run that much, but
they're going to have to throw to get back in this one, trailing 36-0, trying to go up top again. One receiver cover, the other, as Medina will take off. Medina to the 43-yard line. He picks up 4. Every receiver covered. And number 30 back in, that's Bowie.
Well, he's had to run for his life, no doubt.
Being hounded and under duress.
And they, for the most part, they've done a good job of getting him out in the flat.
Has the entire playbook at his disposal, I would say, for the rest of the night, trailing 36-0. From the 44, second down, needing 5. In motion is Perez, number 84, now comes to a stop. Medina play action. Looking. He will go down at the 35. Outnumbered 3-1.
Amaya, 41, applying the pressure. Since he was outside the pocket, he could have just thrown that one away. And his coach telling him that. This is what we call a coaching moment.
Well, they're going to have a lot more of them in the second half, trailing 36-0.
And the Tigers call time.
He's had to do this a lot. Scramble, try to find some kind of an opening, make something out of it.
See, right about here, he can just throw it away.
Yeah.
Now, that's easy for us to say because we don't have some big defensive tackle coming at us.
Well, we second guess everything.
That's what we do.
A question for you, my broadcast colleague.
Okay.
Is this the year that UT beats Oklahoma and become relevant again in college football?
I trust their offense. It might be a 55 to 49 game. The way both teams can put points on the board and both teams give up points.
3rd and 14. They scrimmage from their own 35.
I didn't answer your question.
I was going to say, getting back to the question, here's Medina. Rolls out. Daniel providing the blocking. He will throw at the last and throws behind the receiver. Right in the middle, that's Perez.
Not a lot Medina could do right there. He tried to buy as much time as possible, rolling out to his to the right side, the far side, and he just could not find anyone open. He had 3 guys in the zone, but they were covered rather well. When it's 3rd down and 14 and you've got a 36-0 lead, it's easy for the defense to either pin their ears back and come full bore at you or play soft, and that's what they did there. They just sacked everybody back.
Tigers in punt formation. This is a very, very high punt, fielded over the shoulder at the 24. That's Tony, goes down at about the 18. Number 3, Makai Tony.
A pretty good catch, actually. A high kick. So, John, can Nimitz make it a perfect first quarter where they score on every possession? With the minute 21 to go, you'd think they might just, I wouldn't say go on one knee. Coach Rogers told me about 3 weeks ago, he goes, look, I don't look at the scoreboard. I don't try to run up points. We just run our offense.
Well, they've got it at their own 18, a minute 21 to go. In the first half, they come out throwing, caught at the 25 and out close to the 28-yard line. Nice short possession pass in the flat. That's King.
Now, with that said, I have to say I was rather surprised he threw the football there.
Say he went out of bounds at the 25. So it's a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3.
I thought he'd just run this thing out. They get the ball to start the second half.
Maldonado will throw on the run. Gibson trying to lay out and make the catch, but tough ball to secure. He'll bring up 3rd.
He almost made that. He had it right on his tips of the hand, but the ground didn't help much. Nimitz with not only big players, tall players as well. Gibson has the height advantage on the secondary for sure.
3rd and 3 from the 25. Handoff straight ahead, breaking 1 tackle. Williams cut down at the 32. Approaching a minute. It's a first down for the Vikings. At their own 32, there's head coach David Munoz, came to Irving from Haltom, was the defensive coordinator at Haltom High. Brought some coaches with him from the 32. Maldonado wide open here on the near side. That's King. King close to the 40. That would be an 8-yard pickup. Jalen King, the receiver.
For 8 yards.
58 seconds to go in the half.
Just a quick out. Maldonado to King. He tries to stretch the ball out there to get the first down. He had already stepped out of bounds, though. Good effort.
From the 40. Maldonado to the other side. Same play to the other side. Caught at the 45. And hit hard out of bounds at the 49-yard line is Jeremy Reyes. So they continue to work the short passing game.
Reyes with a 20-yard touchdown catch back in the first quarter.
Eric Williams in the backfield, clock moving, 48 seconds. 1st and 10 from the 49. Maldonado, another short pass. Was it caught at the 42?
No, it was not.
Intended for Reyes.
There's a flag on the play.
Penalty marker drop back near midfield.
Yeah, around the 45, that's usually a hold, offensive, chop block.
15-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Mario Garcia spread his hands wide out, indicating what? On me, maybe? Somebody on the line cut down one of the defensive linemen of the Tigers. Block below the waist.
Or was it Bayakala, number 58? One of those guys on the right side of the line.
That'll make it 1st and 25. 39 seconds to go here in the half. It's a keeper. Maldonado to the 40.
I guess if you're Coach Rogers and you got to say we're doing good, but, that's what coaches do. We're playing great, but you'd have to say probably the penalties. They made some penalties there that they really didn't need to do. Now, the one that I will say is a good penalty is the horse collar tackle there on that very first possession by Irving.
Down near the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that ended up, don't know if that would change the whole complexity. There's Coach Rogers there, the second longest tenured coach in any sport, next to Susie, the Lady Cardinal basketball coach.
Their season not far off. High school basketball right around the corner.
Seems to really get going good around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it does. A lot of tournaments, a lot of interest.
Thanksgiving, then you have the holiday, the Coca-Cola Dr. Pepper Classics.
From the 41, 2nd and 18 for the Vikes. Maldonado looking, long ball left side, and overthrows his receiver at the 40-yard line. That's Reyes. Or not Reyes. Yeah, it is, number 19. Stops the clock as if it really matters for the Vikings with a big lead, 27.5 seconds. 3rd and long, 3rd and 18. I'm sure you'd like to gain something and make it a positive heading into the locker room, but like you said, Rob, they will have the ball to begin the second half. From the 41. And a straight handoff and a hard hit on the penalty marker. Drop ball comes loose, picked up by Maldonado, crossing midfield, 40, 35, and all the way down to the 34-yard line. But keep in mind, a penalty flag drop back, which has to be a hold, no question about it.
Yes, holding it is, and what a hit by Jaden Sanders, number 1, the senior linebacker for the Irving Tigers, that really hit Eric really hard on just a perfect football tackle that caused the fumble. Watch this. Watch to the right of your screen. Look at him right about there. And helmet on football, and Maldonado goes, "Thank you, I'll take that." And off they go.
A little extra shove by Jalen Sanders.
Yeah. And take that. That's frustration, so take that.
Loss of 10. 3rd and close to 30. From the 31, 2 running backs. Williams, 45, and tossed hard out of bounds, and a late flag on Sanders.
It was Jaden Sanders again. I think maybe frustration is starting to pile up a little bit on the black and gold side. He was way out of bounds when he kept forcing the issue a little bit, and now Jaden's going to get an earful from his coaches as they're pulling him off the field.
That's good terminology. I like that, forcing the issue.
The
Upset.
clock will start on the snap.
Nice way of saying you had enough. Had enough of looking at your backside, trying to chase you down. Penalty yardage stepped off. That'll place it at the Tiger 37. Under 10 seconds to go here in the half. The Vikings have put 15 on the board in this second quarter. Maldonado scrambles and runs out of bounds with 1.1 to go.
He has really matured as a quarterback here. Old number 7, just a sophomore. He's, in stature. You got Eric Williams and Jaden Hall, who oftentimes are back there in the backfield. Look at the difference in size between 7 and 2. He's got to feel he's living amongst the giants in the backfield. Although sometimes that stature can be to your advantage.
You can turn the opposite.
Yeah. You can hide behind those big offensive linemen in the secondary, and the linebackers have a hard time picking you up.
Should be the last play of the first half. Maldonado loads up going deep. It is caught, and a punishing tackle at the 6-yard line, but he held on to it. Jalen King. And that's how the first half will end. They go deep. King made the catch and paid for it.
That's going to make your stats look good, basically.
That pads the numbers in the passing department.
Doesn't it?
All right, that'll do it. Both teams headed to the respective locker rooms. Intermission here on our ICT and Game of the Week. Our score, Nimitz 36, Irving nothing.
Halftime score, Nimitz Vikings 36-0, leading this game with the crosstown rivals. But it's now halftime, and that means it's time for the drill team and the band. Let's go down to the field in the Nimitz Vikings.
Now, please enjoy the show as the Vikings perform a time routine to Blinding Lights. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field for your halftime entertainment, the Nimitz High School Viking Band. The band is led onto the field by drum majors Anthony Chavez, Jocelyn Guzman, and Jacob Hernandez. The Nimitz Band is under the direction of band directors Nathan Ewing, Michelle Casso, Dan Gelber, Ashley Tran, Caleb Hines, and Brian Gonzalez. The band performs their show this year entitled Flutter.
36-0 your halftime score. Big halftime production by the Nimitz Viking Band. Fine job. We're going to have the Tiger Band here momentarily, but let's go ahead and take a look at some highlights in the first half, and it was all the Nimitz Vikings. Scored on the first 5 possessions that they had the football. Maldonado, because they were keying on Williams early on. It's a 3-yard jaunt. Made it 7-0. Had like an 80-yard drive. Then Maldonado to Reyes. Breaks a tackle. Extra point good. Still in the first quarter, 14-0. Again, you hear a lot of Eric Williams, but Jaden Hall has also really produced when called upon in the backfield. That's him right there, number 11, right up the gut. Extra point good, 21-0. And then Williams says, hey, wait a minute. I carry the load here. I came in with almost 600 yards and in the top 20 of the Metroplex in rushing. 68 yards, 28-0 in favor of the Vikings after a Irving Tiger punt. Jaden Hall against it. Hold on, Eric. 68 yards right to the right and to the end zone. They had a little mishap and it turned into a 2-point conversion, made it 36-0. Eric Williams did get hit pretty hard there by the linebacker, Jaden Sanders. That was the hit of the night for the Irving Tigers and the big play of the night for the Irving Tigers. Here is our halftime stats. And as one might expect, pretty heavily laden on the Vikings side. Passing 5 out of 11, total yards of 411. They did commit 6 penalties. Believe it or not, if you look at both the stats, look at there, turnover free in the first half. So let's go down to the field now with the halftime entertainment of the Irving Tiger Band. But first, the Toy Tigers.
Teacher of the week is Mr. Jaden, and Toy Tiger Department of the week is Sped. This week, the Toy Tigers are dedicating their halftime streamer performance, Firework, to all the women who are currently battling or survivors of breast cancer.
I'll do that. I can do that. That'd be great. Copy that.
Tasha Franklin and Lucy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Irving Tiger Marching Band. Irving Independent School District and Irving High School proudly presents the 2021 Irving Tiger Marching Band under the direction of drum majors George Diaz and Jaden Goins. Tonight, the Tiger Marching Band will be performing their 2021 marching production, Seek Again the Light, featuring the music of Samuel Barber, Susan LaBarre, Jason Nitch, and 30 Seconds to Mars. And now, the Tiger Marching Band. The Tiger Marching Band would like to recognize Natalie Garcia as Outstanding Band Member of the Week and Madeline Benitez as Color Guard Member of the Week. The section of the week is Color Guard section. Their dedication and service to the band is above and beyond what is called for. The Tiger Band would also like to thank Mr. Addison from Johnson Middle School for all his help tonight. The Tiger Marching Band will be performing this Tuesday at the UIL Region 31 Marching Contest at 1:45 at Pennington Field in Bedford, Texas. The Tiger Marching Band would like to wish the Nimitz High School Band the best of luck at their UIL Region 31 Marching Contest this Tuesday as well.
That's the Irving High School Band. We are almost through with halftime. It's 36-0, the Nimitz Vikings, and they will receive the second half kickoff. We'll be back with that and more after this break.
Begin the second half. Tigers
John Nelson back with Rob Willman awaiting the second half kickoff. It is all Nimitz tonight, 36-0. Tony and King awaiting the second half kickoff of the Irving Tigers. 21 points in the opening quarter, 15 in the second. 4 different Vikings have scored. Hall has scored twice himself. As we get set to play, awaiting the Irving Tiger kickoff. That will be number 17, Roger Brescian. Hammers it deep and caught at the 5 by Tony. Mike Tony goes crossways, penalty marker dropped as Tony is dropped at the 17.
And Gibson might have got called for an illegal block on Sanders away from the ball. Big yellow flag. Hankey comes about 15 yards away, but that's the job of the official right there in the white hat.
Legal use of hands by Nimitz. Be a 10-yard
Worst
penalty.
field position of the night for the
First down
Vikings.
and 10.
Cost Nimitz yardage on the second half kickoff. It'll be spotted at the 15, but to mark it off, a spot foul, which will place it at about the 5. And that's where it is. So the Nimitz Vikings take over at their own 5, leading 36-0. If you're an Irving Tiger, you have reached DEFCON 4. Halloween has come early. Maldonado from the goal line, hands it off, coming right. Williams shakes one and spun down at about the 9.
Nimitz running the dynamic duo again of Jaden Hall and Eric Williams in the backfield. And they pull Hall out of there now that they have a little breathing room. Nope, he's still in there, number 11. The dynamic duo, when you have those two in there, especially with Hall already with a couple of long runs, who do you key on?
Both seniors. Maldonado, the sophomore quarterback. And he will hand it off on the sweep. 15, crossing the 20, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Williams crosses a 45, crosses, not Williams, it crosses midfield. That's Hall. Hall with a lot of real estate as the Tigers give up another big play on the ground. Jaden Hall, who has scored twice tonight, chased out of bounds at the Tiger 44.
He rolled off about 60-plus yards on this play, and he's just like Williams, the guy's a power runner. Watch here. It looks like they have him right here. Two guys try to wrap him high. You can't do that. You got to go low. Sanders was one of those, and he just keeps going. You're just finally shove him out of bounds.
They swing it out to the right in front of Williams. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Second down, 10.
In the first half, Eric Williams went 68 yards. Jaden Hall went 62 for long touchdown runs.
You know, John, this may be something that the Irving coaching staff is just showing other teams at this point. Like, you know, looky here, this is what you're going to have to deal with. So Williams has 164 yards and Hall 125.
Here's a pass behind the receiver. He may have cut the wrong way. Yeah, you could be right at this stage.
Third down 10.
Back at the 44, it'll be 3rd and 10. Nimitz Vikings have won 3 in a row. Trying to elevate their season record to 4-2. From the 44, here's the handoff. This is Williams, and Williams inside the 30. Or not Williams. It's Hall again. They're so close together when they take the handoff.
Well, and it's not like you can say that one is bigger than the other.
Carbon copy.
They are. They're both just, you know, great specimens for running backs. And they both run very tough. Now, Maldonado has attempted 12 passes. He's completed 5 for that one touchdown to Reyes in the ball game. But they continue to try to get him to throw.
From the 27, Hall is to the right of Maldonado. Here's a handoff. This is Williams. Williams 20. Williams and goes down hard at the 15.
Williams on the carry.
He says, I have a lot of ground to keep up, to catch up if I'm going to get up to those 1,600 yards like those top 2 running backs in the Metroplex. It's just, you know, basically a dive right, a little off-tackle play, and if you try to tackle high, both he and Hall will make you pay.
To the air. Inside the 5. That's Gibson. Boy, this drive, Rob, it's close to 95 yards now.
Yes, sir. If they score, it will be 95 yards.
It's 1st and goal at the 2.
And maybe they'll use 3 minutes off the clock.
Handoff clogged up. Nothing at all. Williams shoved back. No gain, 2nd and goal.
Austin Williams on the tackle.
They've almost used 3 minutes off the clock on this 95-yard drive, or 90-yard drive.
Eric Williams comes out. Ashton Thompson in at wideout. Jaden Hall stays in the backfield. 2nd and goal from the 3. Having a hard time getting the play.
Yeah, they made us call time. They don't get this off in time.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, and
they got the time.
Timeout taken by head coach Brian Rogers.
Those side judges know to keep one ear open. And that's exactly, we saw that Irving coach in the first half had to do the same thing, and then Coach Rogers running down to the side judge to call time before the play clock gets down to 0.
Well, that's a good point, because a lot of people wonder, why was a timeout taken with all zeros on the clock? But the side judge has the ultimate call.
Right. Let's take a look at the series between Irving and Nimitz. Vikings lead the series 26-22 to 3, and it's been Nimitz the last 3 years, 6 out of the last 7. Irving had a nice run in 2010 to 2013, where they had 4 in a row, including a couple of overtimes.
52nd meeting all time. Pedro Maldonado from the 3-yard line. Here's the handoff. Jaden Hall coming right, and Hall inside the pylon, or was he shoved out of bounds? No, they're going to mark him out at the half-yard line.
Trying to see if that was Quintanilla, the junior defensive back, number 12, that put a pretty good shoulder in him.
So they're on the lip of the cup. It's 3rd and goal from the half-yard line.
Tried to go the edge. Watch here, see if 12 comes up at the last second. There, yeah, there he is. Quintanilla put a shoulder in him. I mean, it can't be too far from the line.
It's Hall. And denied the double stripe. No gain. The Tigers shut the door. It's 4th and goal at the 1. So the Irving D stiffens up.
Jaden Sanders, number 1, put the big hit on Williams in the first half. Plugging up the middle.
They've gone 94 yards on the drive. Hoping to make it 95 and a score on 4th and goal. Maldonado on the fake. Rolls out. Throws to the back of the end zone. Wide open. Caught. Touchdown Isaiah Gibson. His 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
Coming into tonight's game, Gibson was by far his favorite target. Another one of those tall players on the field that gives Maldonado a big target to throw to. But hey, the sophomore looked really calm in that pocket. Just waited for Gibson to clear the back of the end zone.
Extra point is booted through by Andy Molina. And the Vikings extend the lead, 7:03 to go. In the 3rd quarter, it is now a 42-0 Nimitz shutout.
43-0.
Or 43 rather.
Scoreboard they haven't updated that extra point. Watch the replay. Maldonado to Gibson is this buying his time. Wait, and just lofts that right in there to the back of the end zone. Well done.
Gibson got open for the 2-point conversion in the first half, working his way free to the back and completing the back-breaking 95-yard drive.
Used just 10 seconds shy of 4 minutes off the clock. That's the thing about the Vikings. They don't take a lot of time off the clock, but their offense has been pretty unstoppable. And they got a couple of games. We're going to look at the schedule in a minute. They got a couple of games that ahead of them between Lake Highlands and Jesuit that'll really tell us what this team's made of. Heck, MacArthur had Jesuit. They were only down 14-0 at the half.
Low score. At the 5, this is Wilkins at the 25.
Well, you'd have to think, John, that Jesuit, after their big win last week against Lake Highlands, that they might be a little down perhaps, or not down per se, but maybe taking MacArthur a little lightly. So that's a great opportunity for Coach Nicholas to sneak up on that team and give them a good game for all it's worth.
They spot it at the 26, trailing 43-0. Adrian Medina in their handoff to Daniel into the grinder, and Daniel tossed down at the 29. But you're right about Maldonado, Rob. I mean, coaches, they love quarterbacks who have the ability to extend the play, and Maldonado has done it all night. Extended the run, waits at the last minute to unload these passes, and it looks like a senior quarterback tonight.
Quick feet. He has quick feet. I don't know what that means, but he has quick feet.
2nd and 7 after a pickup of 3. Medina, and close to the 35. He'll be a yard short as shoved back at that point. Being helped up by his offensive lineman, Ricardo Portillo, senior guard.
Most of the starters still in for the Vikings. Next week, it'll be the same Irving Tigers and MacArthur. MacArthur still looking for their first district win.
It will close out the season, a homecoming for Mac as they entertain the Richardson Eagles on October the 22nd. 3rd and 1 from the 35. 2 in the backfield behind Medina. He will keep it, and Medina collects the first down, has yardage out to the 39. First drive of the second half for the Tigers.
Nice read. Very nice read by Medina that time. I was taking a look at the top 10 teams in the state of Texas. Most of those 6A teams. Southlake, number 1. Duncanville, number 2. How can you discount Westlake?
They've been there the last 2 years, back-to-back state champions. The Chaparrals.
They have them at number 3.
From the 40. Here's a handoff. 5,
Oh!
10, into the secondary. Look at him go. Inside the 25 and knocked out of bounds. That's Bowie. Zach Cameron Bowie, the sophomore, and a big run for the Tigers.
A newcomer to the dance.
Yeah.
He just popped out, and next thing you know, he's going down the sideline.
Easy to spot with those orange shoes.
Oh, yeah, just a quick toss right. Gets past one guy. It's the balance. He kept his balance, and then the blocking by the receiver downfield. Salas has to run him out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the Nimitz 22. Medina, here's the handoff and met in the backfield, and a loss of yardage as they grab Bowie as soon as he got the feed.
That's what happens. You know, it's tough to be consistent.
Yeah.
Gibson in on the tackle, number 11. Watch him right there. He just, like he does so often with his speed, just comes right across the line of scrimmage and has him wrapped up. Finishing up the state's top 10, you've got Westlake at 3, Denton Geyer at 4, Katy at 5, Aledo at 7, Carthage at 8, and Rockwall Heath down at 10.
It's a loss of 5, 2nd and 15 from the 27. Across the middle, open, caught, and close to the 15-yard line, number 84, David Perez.
I'm going to name 2 schools, and you tell me if you know where they're from.
Okay.
Westfield and Bridgeland.
South?
Yeah.
As big as the state is and where we
sure.
are.
Yeah.
South?
Yeah, well. It's interesting. It's Westfield is from Spring, a new school in Spring, and Bridgeland is a new school in Cypress. So if you look at Katy, Westfield, and Bridgeland, it's all teams in that outer loop, Highway 99 in Houston, that goes around the city now.
Kind of near the Woodlands.
Yeah.
From the 16 on the run, knocked down. We got some interference and some congestion at the 5.
Walter thought he had made a good play, and now we got flags coming from all over the universe. I think one might be a pass interference, another might be a call against maybe Walter from complaining, a personal foul. So I think you're going to have 2 against Nimitz.
Hills, who was in, number 24, quickly comes out. That's Walter.
Yeah, it's Walter there on the left, and Coach Rogers, who's, you can't be screaming up and down when you're up 43-0, right? Or can you?
Well, there's still a little bit to not be happy about on some execution maybe. Here's the call. And
Interference by the defense. That will be a spot foul. Second foul is unsportsmanlike conduct on number 4. That foul is a dead ball foul. That foul will also be penalized.
At first I thought he was celebrating, but apparently that was not.
1st and 10.
pass interference and an unsportsmanlike conduct. So They're going to march off the yardage, which will place it inside the 5.
He went over the back of the receiver, and that prompted the penalty flag.
It's 1st and goal from the 1. Tigers trying to get on the board. Here's a toss to the sophomore, and they are on the board. Bowie runs it in from a yard out, and the Tigers will not be shut out.
Well, I think it's appropriate that that young man gets the touchdown carry. He was responsible for a big run from line of scrimmage. Hand it to the Tigers. They're not overly celebrating. They see that they're down by 37 at this point, and it's like, well, why get excited?
Do you notice the clock? It's running. There was no stoppage on the clock as it continues to run. We got a running clock here.
Extra point, no good.
So a 43-6 score. Minute 14 left in the 3rd. That was a 74-yard drive. Another look.
Touchdown one more time.
Nice hold on the left side. 65 opens it up. That's Rodriguez.
And Bowie didn't even get touched. It might be the shoes. Look at the standings in the district play as we're waiting for both teams to come out to kick things off. As we head into tonight in 7-6A, you got Jesuit Nimitz right there at the top in district. Jesuit having a tough time with MacArthur at the half. Lake Highlands is now 3-1. They played on a Thursday. You look at some of the other teams there rounding out the bottom. A lot of people said it's Jesuit. Lake Highlands is the way we sit right now. The 4 teams to make postseason should be Jesuit, Nimitz, Lake Highlands, Berkner. Now, how all of that falls in line, who's going to be 3rd, and et cetera, it might be Jesuit, Lake Highlands, Nimitz, Berkner. That
sure.
could be the seeding 1 through 4, and they will play against District 8, 6A, and that's the Arlington schools along with the Grand Prairie schools.
This is District 7, 6A, as Roger Bercia has it teed up. Among those back deep is King. It's short, crossing the 40, and
Hall,
close to the 45. Number 11, Jaden Hall.
Again, that's the luxury for Coach Rogers this year. Look, I mean, he could put Hall as an up back for Pete's sakes. You got Gibson back there, Walters that return things. Don't forget, folks, you can watch games online. YouTube.com/the City of Irving. Games from 2 or 3 years ago as well. I was watching that Nimitz MacArthur game from 2000 just last week.
How was it?
Turned out just the way I expected.
How would you assess the broadcast?
Oh, give us an A-.
From the 44, handoff and 1st down yardage over the right side. He's adding to his total. Eric Williams, or not Williams. Is that Tony? Jersey is pulled up. Can't tell if it's a 2 or a 3. Tony wears 3.
Yeah, it is 3.
Yeah.
I can see it on the side of his. Oh, we got a new quarterback in, too.
Mike Tony, the ball carrier, and
Ikonomu is now the quarterback, number 16. So Rogers has finally said, okay, the second teamers are coming in. Like to see that.
Noah Ikamunu, the junior.
Kids work hard. They practice. They put all the blood, sweat, and tears into it as well. Now, I'm sure they don't want to hear me say tears, but the blood and the sweat.
What's that saying? Our blood, your sweat, our tears. What's old coaches?
I've never heard that saying.
Tony hit hard as he went out of bounds.
He's like, come on, I just got in the game.
Shaken up, and that is the end of the quarter. Well, that was quick. That's the end of the 3rd as we go to the 4th. Our score, Nimitz 43, the Irving Tigers 6. Way back for the fourth and final quarter of this crosstown rival game, Nimitz and Irving. It is all Nimitz as we begin quarter number 4, the 41-yard line for the Nimitz Vikings, facing a second down and needing 5. Handoff over the right side, inside the 35, and tossed to the carpet at the 33, and another Viking first down.
That's Raymond Perkins. He usually plays linebacker. He's also a backup running back. They pretty much have the entire second string out there now for the Vikings here to play the fourth quarter.
Perkins is a senior.
You can pretty much guarantee that the Vikings will try to use every second of that play clock.
Take it down, get some first downs. So, Economo, junior quarterback, hands it off to Perkins again. Perkins slants over the right side. Somebody lost their helmet. Perkins down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's Edgar Sanchez, the wide receivers. Senior, number 82, that lost the headgear, and he's got to go to the sideline and set out a play.
So Eric Williams' night has come to a close. We've seen Tony. And Tony back in as a wide receiver to the left. The inside receiver is King, number 14. Nimitz winning last year's game big, 31-13. Cut down at the line is Perkins. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
That was number 22, Anaya, senior linebacker, crushing down on the side. At this point of the ball game, this is where you just have to preach cooler heads, cool heads. You know, no one wants to. We've seen many, as my grandmother used to say, scuffle. We used to see a lot of scuffles out there late in the ball game.
These kids have had some time off. No school Thursday, Friday. They'll be off Monday. Kind of an extended early fall break. Perkins up the middle, and Perkins to the 22-yard line.
I remember, you know, back in our day, John, we never had a fall break. We did get fair day, and it was fair to say a lot of us didn't go to the fair.
And President's Day was kind of optional, was it not?
It was.
Depending on when it fell. From the 22, and another first down, Economo in relief tonight of Pedro Maldonado. As they skip around the far turn of the track. Drill team from the 22. Perkins trying to take it away. The Tiger defense trying to pull that ball loose. Perkins continues to move to the 15.
He's a tough cookie, isn't he?
Yeah, really hard to gauge how to bring him down. First time we've seen him. Big thighs.
Over at District 8 6A, where you have Arlington Martin's pretty much the top team there, along with South Grand Prairie. But then same situation there, 3rd and 4th. Who is going to come out on top there? You know, Lamar, Sam, those two teams might make it. Might make the 4 out of that district. Or the Gophers. Gophers have played well this year.
Yeah, they could.
They could, you know, bust in and make it to the dance.
2nd and 3, met in the backfield, but able to continue to keep low and move forward as Perkins. Drilled hard by Anaya. As the clock continues to run, approaching 8 minutes. Nimitz will go to 4-2, remain perfect in district at 3-0. 3rd down, needing 3. Tigers will fall to 2-4 overall, 1-2 in district play. Again, next week we'll have the Cardinals and the same Irving Tiger squad. From the 15, Perkins continues to run hard. A penalty marker dropped. Perkins goes down close to the 10. This drive started at the 44.
That was tossed usually where it's the interior lineman grabbing a hold of a jersey.
Face mask. Defense.
So, yeah.
Number 44.
Coach Rogers, it's going
Pass
to
the
go
distance penalty added on to the end of the run.
Somebody
First and goal.
yank that face gear down. This is inside the 5.
Nimitz has been penalized 9 times for 81 yards at this point in the ball game. So there's something that a coach can preach on a little bit.
That'll be a practice discussion next week.
And there'll be a teaching moment.
First and goal from the 4. Economo, the new quarterback, he continues to hand it off to Perkins. Perkins down close to the 2-yard line.
What if, I wonder if a coach ever combined running with flags, like he'll throw a flag in one corner, so you got to, you start at the goal line, and you got to run to that flag, and he'll throw a flag up to the opposite corner, and you got to run to that flag. A coach